This was a conspiracy of silence by top officials working to actively conceal the truth, with total disregard for the children who were Sandusky's victims.
Explosive new charges in the Sandusky case involving former Penn State President Graham Spanier. We'll have the latest on this developing story. And cleanup efforts are in full force after Superstorm Sandy ripped through the Northeast. We'll take a closer look at how the storm affected our area. The Center County Report starts right now.
One year ago today, a campus in crisis. A legend fired.
Joe Paterno is no longer the head football coach, effective immediately.
A university president ousted. Allegations of failed leadership over a disgraced former coach. Now, special coverage from the Center County Report.
Coming up on the Center County Report, we'll have the latest on the Mike McQueary whistleblower lawsuit from the courthouse in Bellefonte. And we have an exclusive interview with Sue Paterno. Find out why she says her dreams have become a reality. The Center County Report starts now.
This afternoon, two former Penn State administrators will be in court on new charges in the Jerry Sandusky case. It's part of a new round of allegations that include criminal charges against former university president Graham Spanier. Reporter Adrian DiPiazza has the latest.
Today, former Penn State officials Tim Curley and Gary Schultz head to court to hear more charges related to the alleged cover-up of child sex abuse at Penn State.
Mike McQueary's attorneys are asking a judge to deny a motion filed by Penn State to delay his whistleblower lawsuit against the university. The motion filed yesterday asked that the lawsuit be allowed to continue on schedule. Penn State wants to put the case on hold while criminal charges are pressed against Curley, Schultz, and now Spanier.
Today, former Penn State President Graham Spanier's paid sabbatical comes to an end. According to a university spokesperson, Spanier is now officially on paid leave. He went on sabbatical after his removal as university president last November. This week, Spanier was formally charged in Harrisburg with conspiracy, perjury, obstruction, failure to report, and child endangerment. He left the court with his wife on $125,000 bail. Spanier is restricted to travel within the state.
More than a week after Hurricane Sandy hit, many people along the East Coast are still being affected by the disaster. Reporter Allie Ingersoll talked with a Penn State student about what she's doing to help her hometown.
Superstorm Sandy that struck the East Coast last week, causing millions of dollars in damage, is still affecting people right here in Center County. Neptune, New Jersey resident and Penn State senior Maddie Pryor says the scope of the disaster hasn't sunk in yet.
Just looking at pictures is unreal to me. Seeing pictures of where I worked in Manasquan for 8 years, the boardwalk, it looks like an earthquake hit. It's wavy like this.
Jerry Sandusky now has a new prison home after his transfer this week. Officials moved him from the state prison in Camp Hill, where he underwent an evaluation, to a maximum security prison in southwestern Pennsylvania. He'll be in protective custody there. He won't have a cellmate, but has to eat his meals and have counseling and treatment programs in his cell. Sandusky will be allowed to have a TV, radio, have 1 hour of exercise 5 days a week, and 3 showers a week. And he'll have an escort when he's not in his cell. It's only 4 days till Election Day. Democratic candidate for State Attorney General Kathleen Kane made a campaign stop in State College this week. Kane greeted supporters Wednesday at Irving's Cafe on College Avenue, talking about the issues she would address if elected Attorney General.
Public corruption destroys our trust in our government. It takes away our resources, and quite frankly, we don't get our money's worth. We hire people to do a job, and they should do the job.
Well, there were no big surprises this week in the Pennsylvania general election. In the presidential race, Barack Obama won our state's electoral votes by a 52 to 47% margin. Interestingly, Governor Mitt Romney beat President Obama here in Center County by just 20 votes. Incumbent Bob Casey easily held on to his U.S. Senate seat against challenger Tom Smith. Kathleen Kane beat out her Republican challenger David Freed for the position of Attorney General, and Robert McCord won in the state treasurer's race over Diana Vaughn. We're live at Nittanyville after a tough and controversial loss last weekend in Lincoln. Penn State football looks to bounce back into the win column. They have 2 games remaining in the season here at home at Beaver Stadium. Penn State will take on Indiana tomorrow. And Coach Bill O'Brien says this team needs to move past last week's game and put that behind them.
Like I've always said, losing will never be accepted here at Penn State. And, you know, going back in those games, everybody wishes that we could have done a better job coaching-wise, playing-wise. But, you know, we've moved on, and we're looking forward to playing our final 2 home games, starting with Indiana here.
Now, Penn State basketball will be making a splash in Puerto Rico next week, but first comes a test against in-state opponent St. Francis. The team was introduced at Media Day on Monday. Second-year head coach Pat Chambers knows his team has to step up its game.
We need to be the best team that we can be by the end of the year. I felt like last year, even though we were 12-20, we were the best team that we could be.
Tip-off against St. Francis will be at 7 tonight at the Bryce Jordan Center. Switching gears from one hardwood to another, the Penn State women's volleyball team has enjoyed some home cooking at Rec Hall so far this season. The number 2 ranked team in the nation has yet to drop a match in Happy Valley, and junior Maddie Martin says playing at home is very unique.
Just seeing how many people come to support us, and the whole band, like the band does a great job, and you know, our boosters are amazing. So just the atmosphere of Rec Hall is like none other.
The Nittany Lions will host Northwestern tomorrow night and will enter the match 24-2 overall.
Now to the wrestling mat, where the Nittany Lions will start their first match of the season at home at Rec Hall. They're ranked number 1 nationally, and they'll continue that momentum into the season. The back-to-back defending national champions are ranked first in the country by Intermat Wrestling, and 17 members are ranked in the top 6 at their respective weights. Head coach Kel Sanderson says his team is ready to get underway.
Opening up with Lehigh is a big in-state rival and one of the top teams in the country, so we're excited to see where we are and just get back into the middle of into the battle.